Hello and welcome. You are listening to the At Home with Ifeno podcast. This podcast is for anyone, male and female, who believes that the home is the cornerstone and foundation of a flourishing society and a better world. Here, we'll guide you through the intricate journey of building a home that's not just a physical space. Whether you are single, preparing to share your life with another, a couple cultivating a shared dream, or parents tending to the garden of their children's hearts. Every other week, we'll talk about topics like practical tips on managing family finances, creating a beautiful home, conversations on courtship, marriage, parenting, and much more. The At Home with Ifeno podcast offers a rich tapestry of inspiration and support. Join us as we explore creating homes where love resides, families thrive in wisdom, and the seeds of a brighter future are sown, just as God intended. I am your host, Ifoma Nneka Omoniyi. Hello, and welcome to At Home with Ifeno. How are you today? It's a wonderful day, a beautiful opportunity to be the best version of ourselves as we go about our businesses, our family, our jobs, whatever you have planned to do today. Know that it's a fresh start and another opportunity to do it right, to do it well. I welcome you to another interesting and inspiring episode on At Home with Ifeno. And I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are connecting with us globally. Thank you for always joining our conversation. You are very important. Without you listening, without you, going along on this journey, it will really be boring. So you are my VIP, even if you are not on the show with me, but whenever you are there and you tune in to listen, it encourages me to, give my best and keep at what I am doing as well. So I say thank you. Thank you for your listening ears and attention. How are you today? How is everything going? Like I have asked about you, your family, your job, and whatever you are engaged in. Just know that as you put in your best efforts, do your best, even if the results are not showing up the way you expect, don't give up. Keep on pushing, keep on reassessing. Sometimes it might be that you need to use a different strategy, even in our relationships with each other, with our spouse, for the married ones, with the single ones that might be in courtship, that are preparing to get married. And today's topic has to deal with them too. So whatever might not be working in your relationship, don't give up, especially when you know that the relationship is not an abusive one, is one that has a great potential for a beautiful future. Don't give up. There is always an answer to, resolve issues and challenges, because they are part of life. So I say welcome. So for the next couple of minutes, just give me your listening attention, and it promises to be a rewarding time for your a rewarding time, even as you listen to me. Yes, thank you. So today's topic is what I have tagged, do you want a wedding or a marriage? Do you want a wedding or a marriage? Before you say I do, it's very important to make sure you are planning for a marriage and not just a wedding. before you decide that you're going to get married, dear single, female and male, many times we feel it's just the female, that are excited about the wedding, but even the men too. The men are also excited. They might not show it so much like the women, but before you tie the knots, before you say I do, I think you need to bring seriously to your attention that you are not just planning for a wedding, which is just a day or two's event, but you are planning for a marriage. So today's episode is one that would be very, very key for those of us listening that are not yet married. So please share the link with any of your single friends, relations, colleagues, those that are getting married or they are preparing for such. Today's episode will be one that will make them be objective and be sincere to themselves, because it is more than just the wedding day. We are talking about planning for a marriage. So, what is a wedding? I'll start with that. What is a wedding? A wedding is a ceremony in which two people are united in marriage. A male and a female, as God created male and female, come together and they agree after a couple of, they have tried to know themselves, they've been friends, and the little this and that, knowing about their goals, their passions, how they can work together as a team. And then they have a ceremony which is called a wedding that brings them together. A wedding is actually the celebration of the love between these two people and commitment, which often involves different traditions, rituals, festivities, which vary from cultures, religions, and personal preferences. So there are different ways people globally get married, whether you are from, the American part of the world, whether you're from Africa, whatever continent of the world, there are uniqueness to that ceremony and how people, express the love and the joy of two people coming together. So a wedding can be simple or elaborate. It includes the exchange of vows, a public, proclamation of marriage. It includes also the exchange of rings and a wedding reception or a party. A wedding is just a single day or more. It's an event with emphasis on celebration, tradition of where these two people come from and their families, that public declamation of their love for each other. It includes aspects of decoration, guest list, planning, food, music, and often a significant financial investment that is very key to making that day a successful one. So a wedding is actually an unforgettable day that you will look back on fondly for the rest of your life. That is just simply the truth. But it is just for a day or two. I remember my wedding day like it was yesterday. Yes, you can't forget that day. And even if some things happen the way you didn't want, you rather focus on the positives. And then maybe when you bring out your wedding album, or if you still have the video clips, watching such, beautiful scenes brings back a lot of memory and smile on your face. So a wedding is really a beautiful ceremony that one looks forward to once they have agreed to get married. But today's topic is trying to bring the attention of our singles that they should pay more attention to the marriage over the wedding day, which is just for a couple of hours or maximum 2 days or so, and that event is over. But after that wedding ceremony, the big deal is the marriage. So do you want just a wedding or you want a marriage? Now, if you want a marriage beyond just the wedding ceremony, I'd like you to know that there are many things to really think about and consider, in this journey that you are about to set out for. A marriage, on the other hand, is not just for a day, it's not just for 2 days, but it's for the rest of your life. Please let that sink in very well. It is for the rest of your life. That is what marriage is about. Marriage needs a lot more planning. It's beyond the decoration, the dress, the groomsmen, the flower girls, whatever, the ashwebi for those of us in Africa, Nigeria, that's theme, color, and things like that. The marriage is beyond that. It takes a lot more. It involves dedicating yourself to someone for the rest of your life. And this is very serious business. Like I said just now, this is something to think about. So it's beyond is my boyfriend or he's my girlfriend. No, for the remaining part of your life, once you make this decision, you are going to be with this partner of yours. Morning, afternoon, evening, year 1, year 10, year 5, like that, for the rest of your life. It's actually a personal commitment that lasts a lot longer than it takes for you to plan your wedding. Marriage is a beautiful journey, but as much as it takes a lot, to make it work, it involves intentionality and commitment. Marriage means being there for each other, that is the female and the male, being there for each other through good and bad times. Both scenarios will always play out in life. This should not be surprising to you. I just want us to face it, because yes, we pray for good. We pray for good things, but the truth is that life is a mixture of the highs and lows, of the ups and downs. So marriage will involve when you take care of yourselves in emotional difficulties, sick family members, money troubles, becoming a family, the challenges that come with it. Marriage means taking care of each other, like I just said, whether you are healthy or whether you are down with an illness, when you need a shoulder to cry on, when things don't work your way, both of you are together to weather the storms of life together. Marriage involves being courteous of each other's needs. Marriage is beyond just thinking about yourself, how you can be happy, just yourself, it's about both partners working together as a team, as people that have similar values, similar focus, going to a particular destination together. Being married means walking through the frustrations about boredom, about sex, family, finances, and much more. It means having patience for one another. So I ask again, do you want just a wedding or a marriage? A healthy marriage is one that comprises the following. One is open communication. It is said that communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, not just in marriage, but in interacting with people, in talking with people, in relating with people, whether it's in the office, your colleagues. Communication is key. It is not just one person talking, but it involves 2 or more people listened to and being understood and responding appropriately to whatever has been communicated. So for a healthy marriage to be a reality, open communication is very important. I have found out that this is one area where a lot of us couples struggle with. So as the singles are planning for their wedding, this is an area I will advise that you pay close attention to how do you communicate, how do you share, your opinions and what you think about various subjects. Topics like things to discuss or communicate about are things like finances, things about having children, things about sex. Sex, not putting it into practice like we talked about the previous episode that was that sex before marriage is sweet, but there are consequences that could be detrimental to that relationship and even to your well-being. So you need to have that open communication and learn how to speak to each other, listen to each other, and know how to express yourself in a respectful way. The second thing that is very important in building or preparing for a happy and a healthy marriage is shared values and goals. What are the things that connect both of you beyond your emotions? What are the things that drive the decisions you make concerning the choice of career, the choice of how finances are being utilized? All those things are very, very important because they tend to be the things that will bring friction even when you get married. So don't spend your courtship or you're trying to plan for a wedding to be just the focus. Don't spend it on just going to eateries and occasions and just whiling away time. These are very important aspects of marriage that you should not sweep under the carpet. The third area that would help in preparing for a healthy marriage is quality time together. How are you going to be spending time together? Yes, we know you have not started that journey, but even as you have time in courtship, there should be things that connect you both together. Maybe your passions, the things you enjoy doing, things that maybe you like helping in visiting the orphanage, things like that. Those are things that you should have quality time together. You should have shared goals and values. And then another area that is also very, very pivotal and important in preparing for a marriage beyond the wedding is conflict resolution skills and resolving issues. So how are you going to resolve issues? Even as you are courting as singles, you are going to have situations where you will step on each other's toes. So you need to learn how to resolve all those issues before you get married, because these are areas that could give you, areas to look at that could be red flags that could say, oh, can we continue in this relationship, or do we just part ways, to be on the safe side? Because there's no need pretending to you, dear listener, dear single. Marriage is a serious business. I'm not trying to scare you or to make it look as if it is so difficult, but the truth is that it is about the rest of your life. And so it is something that you must take out time to really prepare beyond the ceremony that is just for 2 days, for the rest of your life. Someone might say, so Ifeno, are you saying once we make the plans or once we plan for the marriage that everything will go smoothly? No. But these issues being discussed, when you bring it to the fore, it starts making you understand yourselves, you understand each other's priority, you understand if you are going to make a great team to work together. Even when you feel that you're going to make a great team to work together, there will still be challenges, but by then you would have known how to navigate issues and how to resolve conflicts. So a marriage is a covenant between God, who is the originator of marriage, with a male and a female as God made it to be from the beginning. I know that now there are different types of gender, but on the At Home with Ifeno podcast, here we focus on the way God has created man from the beginning. He created them male and female, and that is what we believe in. Marriage is focused on we and not me. We, that is we, over me, me. So in marriage, we must be ready to make our choices, make our decisions with the mindset of we and not just me. So it is a journey that will require us to die to ourselves daily. This means not allowing our selfish desires take over our relating with each other as a couple. Marriage involves honoring and respecting ourselves, appreciating the roles each spouse plays. You know, every role that is part of the marriage life is very important. Whether it is what the wife does or what the husband does, none of them is more important than the other. Both of them are important to make a successful marriage. And marriage involves choosing love that serves each other. The ultimate purpose of marriage from God's perspective is to mirror God's image. I'll take that again. The ultimate why of marriage, the ultimate reason why marriage is in existence today is that God wants us as a couple to mirror His image. So if you don't know God and you don't know how His image is, there is no how you would even be able to reflect God's image, because it is all and more about God over our feelings, over our emotions, and over what society thinks. Because many of us feel that, oh, get married, you are getting old every day. Get married, oh, so that you can have children. The children are part of it, but the main thing that is at the heart of God is that God wants us to be like Him, to mirror His image. So we have to reflect God's character in marriage, and that's why it's a sacrificial call, it's a sacrificial journey. You know, it's one that brings us to a point where we are not just thinking about ourselves. Does that mean that we should get lost and not know who we are? No, that's not what I'm saying. But God has called us to build a relationship, a marriage rooted in love and respect, showing each other that each spouse, each partner is needed to support ourselves, even in the smallest moments. There's nothing too small or too big to be able to do for each other as a husband and a wife. So these are things that we must consider as singles. Singles, I hope you are listening. That beyond the wedding ceremony, marriage is something that you must start picturing it and making up your mind. It's a decision. It is beyond emotions. Marriage is actually choosing to speak life and encouragement into your partner's life, even when it is hard. There'll be times when you have, disagreements, arguments, but let it not get to the point where it becomes physical and you are being abused by your partner in one way or the other. So marriage is a sacred calling that requires commitment, sacrifice, and a deep respect for each other. Respect is not just for one side of the union. It's for both parties, both male and female. So the way we want to be spoken to, the way we want to be treated, is the way we should relate with our spouse. Marriage is more than that wedding day. And I want to ask again, do you want just a wedding or you want a marriage? Are you ready to build the marriage you are desiring God's way? Because He is the originator of marriage. Or do you want to build a marriage that is based on your traditions, on your culture, on trends, what is going on, and on societal expectations? These are questions that only you and your fiancé or fiancée are encouraged to be real to yourselves, so that you don't get into something that you are not well prepared for. So how do you prepare yourself for this marriage beyond the wedding? Preparing for marriage is a journey that goes beyond that wedding day, like I have repeatedly said. Preparing yourself for marriage involves building a strong foundation that will last for years and will bring about a fulfilling partnership. I will share 5 areas that could help in preparing you for marriage. The first one is self-reflection. Who are you as an individual? Many times, many of us, when we're single or are singles, we get carried away by just our feelings. But one of the areas that is very important in preparing for marriage is to know yourself. Self-reflection. You need to understand your values, you need to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and then your expectations for marriage. You need to love yourself. You can't give what you don't have. So, as you expect to be loved by another, first of all, you must love yourself. And when you love yourself, then you can reciprocate that love to this person you want to share the rest of your life with. Remember that you are work in progress. You are working on improving yourself every day. And because you can't give what you don't have, so if you don't love yourself, loving someone else would be a great challenge. So I want to ask the singles, both male and female, do you love yourself? When I say do you love yourself, I'm not asking are you selfish concerning yourself? No. Do you really know who you are? Do you know what your strengths and weaknesses are? Do you know the life that you are looking forward to? When you love yourself and you find productive ways to challenge yourself, so that you will grow, you will improve, and you will heal wherever you are hurting. It will not be difficult for you to offer such love and such concern to your partner to be. So you and your partner will, because we are likely to fall short of some of the expectations we might have, and we are incapable of being our partner's sole source of happiness. So just imagine that you are the only one and the only person, and that's just you, is what will make another human being fulfilled and happy in life. That will be a lot of pressure on you. Don't you think so? But sadly, that is how a lot of us have taken marriage to be. So many times, many of us have felt, oh, once I get married, I will be happy for the rest of my life. And then when challenges start coming, we start wondering that, did I make a mistake? Or is this really the right partner for me? There's nobody that can make you happy. As in, there's nobody that should be the sole source of your happiness or your joy. And that is why this area of self-reflection and knowing yourself is a very, very foundational point to consider when preparing for marriage. So you cannot be the only source of your partner's life. That's the source of their joy or what makes them tick. If there's anybody that makes anyone like that feel fulfilled, I know that person is God. No other person can satisfy us. No job, no title, no spouse. That's the truth. No spouse can, bring that fulfillment. Yes, I'm not saying that you will not enjoy marriage. No, there's a place where you will enjoy your relationship. But the truth is that the only person that can truly satisfy that longing that we have in our heart is God. And that's why we need that relationship with Him. This is another topic for another day. So let's just focus on getting prepared for marriage over just getting prepared for a wedding that is just 1 or 2 days. So the second area, apart from self-reflection and knowing ourselves, is communication. I said that earlier on. Communication and conflict resolution. I am still on that journey. I have been married for now, I'm edging towards 2 decades in marriage. And I can tell you that this communication and conflict resolution, it is an area where we need to keep working on ourselves. But over the years, I've learned about active listening and how to express yourself clearly. So in communication, you need to work on actively listening to your partner. Practice truly listening. So many times we respond to our partner from a place of you have already prepared your answer even before your partner has finished saying what they want to say. But we need to truly listen to our partner, their perspective, and then understand what they are trying to say and let them validate their feelings, so that when it is the next partner's turn to express themselves, you will also be listened to. So communication is beyond just talking. Active listening, which is one area many of us are not doing very well in, is very important in communicating and in resolving conflicts, because we will always have conflicts. Expressing ourselves clearly. We need to learn how to communicate our needs and expectations respectfully. I repeat, respectfully and assertively. Then in this conflict resolution, we need to know how to develop healthy strategies. There is a time for everything. Many times, at the heat of the moment is not the best time to resolve conflicts. Sometimes there needs to be this calming down. There needs to be, okay, some people are good at let us sleep over it. Some people are like, no, we want to resolve it. Whatever strategies you have, let it be healthy strategies that will help in navigating the disagreements, and let the conflicts be resolved constructively. This might involve sometimes compromise, negotiations, or if it's getting out of hand, then maybe seeking help from a counselor might also help in resolving conflicts that are going out of hand. The third area that is very important to prepare for in marriage is financial preparedness. The money matter. We need to talk about financial goals and how to manage things like debts, and how the home is going to be run. There is no particular formula for financial preparedness, I would say. Every couple is unique and every home is unique. But one thing I would just say is that in our finances, I encourage couples that they should be transparent, they should be open. Let us not have hide and seek attitude when it comes to money matters. Many times, this area has really caused a lot of problems in homes. But I feel if we are honest, it will be minimal. I said. It doesn't mean that everything will go swiftly, because you need to be open. You need to know what each of you are doing financially and how you are bringing it together for the good of the family. Remember, it's not me now. You're not just thinking about yourself. You are thinking about you and your spouse. And then by the time the children come, the children are also part of it. So you need to think, how are we going to run our finances? Like I said, there is no particular formula for every home. Just look for what will work for your family and your home and work towards it. As you go along, if there's any reason to fine-tune your financial, goals and how to manage things like debt, so that you don't get into unnecessary pressure that could cost you your relationship, then you look for ways on how to manage it. You can also seek financial experts to be of help, so that your relationship is not severed because of finance. It's a very, very dicey area in relationships, even that are not marriage, even between friends. So finance is another area. I think very soon, one of these days, I've talked about it. We'll do something on finance and how it can affect even our intimacy in marriage. So the fourth thing that singles should pay attention to in preparing for marriage is family and friends. Now, you are going to start a family. Does that mean that a new family, does that mean that where you are coming from, the families you are coming from, that they are not useful to you again? No, not at all. We still need our family and friends, but this is going to be with healthy boundaries. We need to establish healthy boundaries with our family and friends while also maintaining a strong connection with our partner. Some relationships have not thrived well because the couple have not known how to draw the boundaries between their former families, that's the families they came from, and this new home. So I think this is an area where, as singles, before you get married, you need to speak about your relationship with your family, your siblings, how things are going to be done when you get married, because this is a new home that's going to start, and there needs to be clear boundaries so that it doesn't look like the couple don't have their privacy, or they don't have that freedom to express themselves, especially when family members and even friends are trying to intrude on this new relationship that has begun. So this is an area that should be discussed with the couple or the partner that is getting married, so that it will be spelled out from the beginning. So establish those healthy boundaries. Speak to the families you are coming from. Let them know that, okay, you are still part of my life, but I'm about to start another home. And these are the things that my spouse and I have agreed, both from the female side and from the male side. And I believe that if you do this with wisdom, with respect, over time, even if your families where you're coming from do not understand, when they see that you as a couple, that you are standing with each other, they will know that we cannot come between these people. Let's just give them their space and respect them. So also support system. Also build a strong support system of this same family and friends who can help in one way or the other, whether in encouragement, in guidance, or if you need them in support, especially when you are raising children, you will need, the help of your loved ones. So they are not supposed to be discarded because you have started a new home. No, they still play a role in our lives. We have lived with them for years. Our parents have been part of, and they are still part of our lives, because they will still be there to see how we are evolving in this marriage that we have decided to come together. So our families are still very important. Shared values. Ensure that you and your partner, you share similar values. I've mentioned this regarding how to raise your children, how to do the things you are going to do. Let there be that open communication. It will really help. Let it be beyond just how you feel emotionally. These are important areas that we must and we should, as singles, speak and discuss and prepare for while we are getting ready to get married. Now, premarital counseling is the fifth area. This is a very important aspect that sometimes some people want to wiggle out their way from. They don't want to go through the process. The process of premarital counseling should not be taken for granted. We need to get tools and counsel for building a strong marriage by attending premarital counseling sessions. Dear singles, this is not just for the female. This is both for male and female. It is very important that we go for counseling sessions, because through the counseling sessions, you will be prepared on what you are likely to experience or expect as you learn to live with each other. Remember that this is beyond just visiting each other whenever you see yourself. So this is that you're going to be with yourselves every day for the rest of your life. So you need to go for tools, go for counsel from professionals. Many times churches hold such sessions. I know about that. Please do not avoid attending such. Make your decision of getting married known to your church, your assembly where you worship with, for those that are Christians. And even if you feel you don't want to go there, but please seek counsel. Don't think you already know it, because many singles are wanting to jump out, and some of the reasons are because they didn't attend premarital counseling, or they were not fully there listening and maybe asking questions. So do you just want a wedding or you want a marriage? This is the topic for today, and I've asked it at different instances on today's episode. If you are desirous of a strong marriage, note that marriage is a continuous journey of growth and learning. Marriage is a continuous journey of growth and learning. Ifeno is still on the journey. It's just that I have gone through some I have gone through some waters already. So if you come to me, for example, I could share my experiences of some of the things that I learned at the early stage, some of the things I will not try to do now because of what I have learned. So it's a continuous journey of growth and learning, and it is a dynamic one that keeps evolving. So be willing to adapt to each other as couples, as partners, as you navigate the challenges and the joys of married life. Marriage is filled with its beautiful parts and sometimes the challenging parts. So that is just the truth. Beyond the practical aspects and emotional preparations that I have mentioned, remember that marriage is a covenant. Yes, a covenant, a sacred commitment. It is a covenant between God and a male and a female. It is a promise to love, it's a promise to honor and to cherish each other through thick and thin. Marriage is a journey of shared experiences, of mutual support, and unwavering love. And it is a platform where God wants His image to be reflected through both partners. So I say, do you want just a wedding or a marriage? Thanks for joining us this week on the At Home with Ifeno podcast. Check us out on Instagram at Ifeno17 and on YouTube at Home with Ifeno podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch every new episode and leave us a comment so we can build a strong community. See you in 2 weeks' time.